Tyrone Bowman live. I'm going to get right down to the essence of this story. Wrong glasses. Give me a moment here to change. All right, I'm going to get right down to the essence of this story. Let's talk about it right now. And according to Axios, California Governor Gavin Newsom threatened a redistricting trigger measure on Friday that would put before state voters Democrats' redistricting plan if Texas Republicans redraw their state's congressional map. President Trump has applied intense pressure on his party to a redistrict in its favor, saying Tuesday the GOP is, quote, entitled, end quote, to 5 more Texas seats. Democrats' response has been to threaten similar action. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, Democrat from New York, and his caucus are in sync with a grassroots call to aggressively counter Republican tactics. Newsom, raising another voice in the push, said during Friday's press conference with California Democratic leaders they are calling for a special election the first week of November. California will not sit by idly and watch this democracy waste away, he said. We'll fight fire with fire. We'll assert ourselves and we'll punch above our weight. And it will have profound impacts on the national outcome, not just here in the state of California. Some 50 Texas Democrats left the state Sunday to prevent a GOP House vote on redistricting. The FBI is working with local law enforcement to find them, per Senator John Cornyn's request. Republican from Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott referenced deadly Guadalupe River flooding in his push to see Democratic legislators return to the state. Too late for that. That ploy is not going to work because their leader would not send any money down to Texas to help with the flooding efforts. So how are you going to force Democrats to get on board with your plan to try to stack the deck? Our fellow Texans are being let down and not getting the flood relief they need because these Democrats have absconded from the responsibility, he said in a Fox News interview on Monday. Notice he went to Fox News. They always run over to Fox, the racist and bigoted network, because Fox will give them favor coverage, whereas other networks will not. And this is not about getting money for the flood victims. This is about them trying to steal the midterm elections. This is about them trying to stack the deck. This is about them trying to leverage power because they know people are fed up. They've had enough of them, and people are going to come out in the untold millions during the midterm 2026 elections, and they know it. They're not dumb, they're not stupid, so this is another tactic that they try to play on the sympathy of people who are devastated. Well, he's the governor of Texas. Why doesn't he do something to help them? What? He is the governor of Texas. Why doesn't he forcefully speak up to his own party to demand that they help those who are the victims of this terrible flood that has occurred down in Texas? Texas State Representative Ann Jackson said during Friday's press conference, there is an arrest warrant to force Democrats back to the state for one bill only. Right, it's for one bill only. And that bill is for what? Redistricting. They don't want us to come back for flooding, she said. They're using those families as a distraction. Democratic State Representative Gina Hinojosa, probably did mispronounce that, said she has gotten 700 calls on the issue and all but 4 supported her effort. Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi who also attended the press conference, said this is not a case of two wrongs. This is not a wrong, she said. This is self-defense for our democracy. That's the bottom line. Can't have it both ways. People can try to play with people, play on people's emotions. And as I've said before, I'm going to say it again, the economy's in trouble. People are unemployed by the untold hundreds of thousands. Seniors are suffering greatly. Their Medicaid and Medicare is being stripped from them. The privatization of Social Security is going to be on the top of the list when the Congressional House resumes in September because they want to privatize Social Security and steal the money so that rich people can have more tax breaks. Businesses, small business owners around the country are suffering bankruptcies greatly. Farmers are suffering greatly. Families can't have their needs met, black and white and in between. And this is the crap y'all say y'all voted for. And you're trying to convince people that this is what you voted for. You can psychosomatically lie to your own mind and tell yourself that. But we know better. Because you had no idea that the tables were going to turn against you. You had no idea whatsoever, did you? So California Governor Gavin Newsom is rallying up the base. And they're going to fight back whether y'all like it or not. That's the bottom line. Never surrender. Never quit.